Recently, indie developers have started carrying the horror genre. Games like Lethal Company have brought many hours of entertainment, making us scream like when we were kids seeing a creeper for the first time, or even the fear of Hero Brian. But after a while, seeing the same monster running after you, it starts to lose its punch. But what if, instead of getting scrapped to survive, we instead got views?
Hello everybody,
By the way, like and subscribe. Content warning has taken the spotlight this time, and for good reason. This game has taken the YouTuber experience to another level, or spooktuber if you will. Being able to record monsters trying to eat you, your friends dying in terrifying ways, or even this guy. This is the day in the life of a spooktuber. Hashtag spook life. You first awake in your bedroom, where all good spooktubers spend all their time, and you are met with the first goal, 3,000 views. You and your team must complete this goal within 3 days. And to do this, you need to record and upload the best video possible. To make a viral video, we need excitement, romance, suspense,
and it has to have a happy ending.
Beginning our adventure, we say hello to our audience, and going inside the diver, we'll be able to head to the old world. This is where we will get all those juicy views. Once everyone's inside, it's time to really bring that camera out. You can record either what's in front of you or in selfie mode, but you don't want to waste the audience's time, so we can only record for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I just wanted to say the art style is amazing. Going for such a cutesy aesthetic in the home world to Bendy and the Ink Machine type vibes is just perfect. It makes my monkey brain happy.
Whose toes are those? Who's that great ape right there?
When you arrive, you have one goal: record something scary. Heading towards the abandoned factory, you can encounter the horrors inside. And much like Lethal Company, nowhere is safe. We have a timer, which is our oxygen. When it runs out, we die. You can either walk all the way down the stairs or to jump for the dead. You can take the express route. Pro tip, if you just Kermit while recording, you get more comments, which means maybe more views. Plus, you don't take full damage, at least not yet, making it the best option. Ways to get more views can be recording the floating orbs, the lasers, someone dying to the lasers, and even looking at bones. But in the end, the locals of the old world are what really gets those views up. So let me introduce you to the monsters, increasing in threat level further down the list. First resident, Snail Man, codename Gary. As if a snail had arms and legs with a horrid looking face and a questionable mouth shape. Gary is the most common enemy you'll normally come across. Being able to walk around in any part of the map, he can easily sneak up on anyone. Well, if the audio stinger doesn't give him away. When Gary gets his gross little hands on you, he will slowly eat away at your health bar, so keep your distance and you'll be fine. Gary will make for great clickbait, but seeing as he's the most common, it's best to move on to focusing the video on someone more important, as to please the SpookTube algorithm.
I had a dream about a bear and an old lady and a snail, and you were there, and the snail killed you or something.
Next subject, Slime Critter, codename Slime. This is strangely enough the only non-hostile monster other than the small yelly man. The slime is basically the free candy van you need to worry about.
I love kids!
If you get too close to it, it will capture you and run away at high speeds. Not really a threat until it drops you off in front of an enemy that is a threat. And yes, you can record while being captured. Not the spookiest thing though. Next off, Ceiling Star, otherwise known as... Guys, I think there might be something hanging there. This was the first monster to kill me, and yes, I had no idea what happened.
What's happening? Wait, what? Am I dead?
I think you might be.
Oh, spooky. To find this lovely creature that dwells on the ceilings, usually using free V-Bucks as the lure, you just need to look up.
$19 Fortnite card.
If I'm being honest, this is the worst enemy in the game. All you need to do to get out of its trap is to throw something at it and you're free. This can be a flashlight or even your camera. Just make sure you pick it back up, otherwise your channel will fall off. Blenderhead. This is a chef's right-hand man, and it's out for blood. If you're not full health, you will die to it. And if you do die, make sure you record it. This monster will run at you and won't stop running until it hits a player or hits a wall. Next to Snail Man, this is a pretty common enemy, but the audience loves this guy, so make sure you record him. Whoa, just be careful not to lose that footage.
I don't feel so good.
Knife Ghost. The knife ghost is one of the most threatening enemies if you're already damaged. When they find you, they will shake you down for all the health you have. Armed with a chef's knife and a laugh straight from the saw's puppet,
You want to play a little game?
Okay.
the viewers love this little dude, and so do I. I mean, look at this little guy.
That's a funny little character. I like that.
Grab a snake, the definition of an abusive relationship. He'll run up to you to give you a hug just to pick you up and throw you, doing over half your health. Just hope it doesn't throw you into a closed space, because it will pick you right back up again and game end your career. Unless you're recording. If you see your mate being tossed, the monster will usually try and hit any survivors nearby, making a great shot for the video. The Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden is a strange enemy. It's another trap monster, but this one moves. Similar to the coil head from Lethal Company, it can only move when you're not looking at it. But unlike the coil head, once you're trapped, you can be freed. Only if you have another person nearby to save you. They will have 15 seconds and 3 attempts to save you. You better just hope they know what the keys on their keyboard are.
Oh, he died.
Because I don't. The only thing about this creature that no other creature has is it has the SpookTube logo on it. Almost like it was placed here from other SpookTubers to interact with, or better yet, die to. Gotta get rid of that competition somehow, I guess. Robo Attack Dog, otherwise known as the Michael Reeves dog. It acts as the building's security with one objective: kill. It walks around with a bright light, so it's hard to miss this little guy. Wait a second, is that a happy little smile? Okay, I like this little fella.
Check that out. I like that.
Have a extraordinary day.
If it spots you with its sensor light, it will fire at you. Once again, the same as the turrets in Lethal Company. Okay, sorry, last time. Enough about the furry game. The Robo Dog brings in great views, especially when someone dies to it, so be sure to give it a good pat. Ear monster. This is another strange monster. It will hunt you down if you aren't making any noise. Well, better yet, hop towards you. And if it finds you, it will slowly attack you until you scream into your mic, taking notes from the little guy. And when you scream, it will run away, holding its ears as if it's in pain. This mutant frog ear thing will get the crowd excited and grossed out. It's not much of a threat as long as you yell at it, and being a SpookTuber, this won't be hard to do. This creature mixed with everything else around can make surviving a lot harder. Just don't say anything bad about him, otherwise, well, you know. Bomber. As you guessed, the bomber has bombs. Okay, next monster. I hate this guy because every time I turn a corner, I run into it and die immediately. If you find this guy, he will throw Christmas baubles that explode. If you get too close to the bomber, he also explodes. Kind of kamikaze-ing in a way, I guess. All I can say is get away from this guy as fast as you can. But make sure you record and clickbait the crap out of it. And if someone dies, make sure you record it for extra social points. Smiling little screamer, another little guy. Codename Stewie. Stewie won't attack you because he's a shy little guy, and just like every shy person, they freak out and scream when too many people get nearby. He will try to run away and hide from your group, so be sure to record him when you can. Although the audience aren't the biggest fan of this little fella when he screams, so you have to be careful. You don't want to break your audience's eardrums, or your own, I guess. The Spider. And unlike Lethal Company, you can't change it to a red text that runs after you. So at least the 3-year-olds playing on mummy's iPad won't forget they're playing content warning and think they're playing Gmod.
I'm with the science team!
The spider will fire webs at you, slowing you down, or more so trapping you, turning you into a fresh meal for any monsters nearby if it doesn't eat you first. This is another monster you want to get in, record, and get out fast. Next up are the 4 biggest threats. I don't know their names, so this is their new official name given by me. The Destroyer.
What is that thing? What is that thing? What is that?
Man-Eater Bug. The Titan.
Oh god.
And Danny Phantom. If you see these 4, you better run. Record as much as you can. They bring in so many views. Better than Mr. Beast. unless it's Danny. Danny will be invisible for the camera and won't let go of you unless you're either by a floating orb or have a flashlight with charge. Danny is the sole reason I bring a flashlight with me every time I drop down. The number of times I've recorded the best video but died to Danny Phantom is insane. If you take anything away from this video, please always carry a flashlight when you go down there, and also brush your teeth. The destroyer will pull you in like a black hole and dealing massive amounts of damage, and will always try and kill you if it knows where you are. The man-eater bug, from what I've seen, it will only attack you when you shine a light at it, making its pupils small, basically the opposite to a moth. And finally, my personal favorite, the Titan, or Big Mama, the biggest threat in the game. The Titan will kill you.
What? What is happening?
It's faster than you and will more than likely one-shot you, but she brings in the most amount of views, so be sure to record it as much as you can. Well, before you die, at least. Yeah, he just killed me through the wall. Now that you know the threats, it's best to have another person with you, as to not lose the footage, if there's a casualty. Or more so when there's a casualty. The first map you land at is the old factory with a massive building, having a stairway down to the working floor, with doors that still work and even giant gears still turning. Perhaps this place is still being used. Once you finish recording everything, you can even head back home to upload and even watch the video you just recorded. And not only that, you'll be able to even download the video straight to your computer. I love this about this game. It makes it so good. Once you have beaten the first quota, you'll be able to visit the next map. I don't know what it's really called, so I'm just going to call it the mansion. How original. Just like the first map, it's easy to get lost, so make sure you put all the torches on the left side so you know your way out. Every enemy can spawn on both maps, so it's just a small breath of fresh air rather than just doing the same map the whole time. Although being in the factory, I found myself a radio that plays funk music. So that's my favorite map. I'm sure there's a radio on the other map, but I'm too lazy to find it because it's not guaranteed every time. You can also find free items around each map, such as flashlights, tasers, and even an iPod shuffle. The game's only in early development at the moment, so there's only 2 maps, not including the homeworld, which, by the way, you can buy items from the store. These can make a run so much easier, or even funnier. With items like the different mics, you can either be a broadcaster giving an interview to the residents of the old world, or even have a professional sound crew fit with a boom mic.
Did somebody say boom?
And even a clapper. And if the locals get a bit too handsy, you can use the old reliable shock stick. For only $400, I would highly recommend getting the shock stick if you can afford it. Being one of the best items in the game, right next to the hugger and the defibrillator. The hugger being able to heal your team, and the defibrillator being able to res your team.
You guys do not want to die. There is no hell, there is no heaven. It is just nothing.
Just don't run out of charge, otherwise it'll be useless for the rest of the time you're down there. And finally, the flashlights. There's the modern flashlight and the long-range flashlight. I wouldn't get the long-range flashlight only because it's not the most useful compared to the modern flashlight. The modern shows everything in front of you, when the long-range shows everything far away from you, making it hard to see what's in close proximity of you. Next off, the emotes. These all go hand in hand, giving the audience something fun to look at. In other words, giving you more comments on the video. Other than that, they don't really do much else. The best ones are Caring and Ancient Gesture 1. I wonder what it means. Lastly, the party poppers, perfect for any party. And only costing $5, it's a real steal. Another use for the money is respawning, which also costs more the more money you have. So if you don't have any, it's free. So make sure you use all of the schmeckles you have in the store, so it doesn't go to waste. Content warning was designed to play with friends, or random people on the internet if you don't have any friends. But if you do decide to play solo, you'll have a lot of handicaps, such as not being able to emote on camera, not being able to use the defib, or heal with the hugger. You can't get bonus views by recording someone die. If you die, you will lose the camera without any chance of someone else getting it, unless you find it the day after. as long as it's not the final day of the quota, because obviously you can't go back down after the quota. And most importantly of all, you can't see and hear all of your friends screaming in fear and seeing them lose their shit running from a monster or even having a mental breakdown. Content warning, otherwise known as Lose Your Voice Simulator, has secrets, and you can find the secrets around the map. I already talked about the radio that plays funk music, but searching the map more, you can discover more items like the statue, normally accompanied by the statue, identical in appearance, shown as a rabbit or a duck statue. The rabbit or duck highlights a curious phenomenon called aspect perception, showing that objects are not normally what we perceive them as, but when you hover over them, you notice that one is spelt wrong, perhaps implying that there is meant to be one right answer and one wrong, either by having the rabbit being the right answer, or even the duck is down to who perceives it in their own meaning or understanding. Picking up the misspelled item, it will make you hover with an old-timey horror sound effect used by a theremin, making you take damage until you die. But if you have someone near you, they can in fact throw you the correctly spelt one, sending you back towards the ground, saving you. This, strangely enough, from what I've seen, doesn't give you any more views than you would normally get from just recording a monster, so it's better to just stay away from these things. Another item you can find is a chorby. From what I've seen, it doesn't do anything and it doesn't give you any extra views. So my guess is the old factory that we are in used to make these little things. They can also be found on the second map, but are a lot more apparent on the factory. You can also find nukes that kill you when you throw them, paintings that summon Satan, and if you're lucky enough or even unlucky enough, you will encounter this.
What is happening? I can't record.
I don't know. Look away.
I can't.
Look away. I'm just dead.
What was that?
Guess we're meant to look away before he does that?
Yeah, I looked at him dead in the eyes. I was like, hello.
It can show up on both maps by flickering into and out of existence, but more than likely won't appear unless you hear the audio glitch, and at that point it's too late. Not even being able to change camera perspective, unable to look away, you realize this is the end of your SpookTube career, but then you wake up just to do it all over again. I hope you enjoyed this video. It took longer to make than I had hoped. Being a responsible adult and working a job really takes time away from editing. So if you like the video, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. I'm going to try my hardest to make more videos sooner rather than later, so you don't have to wait like 2 months in between videos. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and see ya. Actually, it's cheap to rent diving bells. I did it once for my bachelor party.
0 hearts.
I got mad? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dude, these comments are deranged.